Hello students, now in the earlier classes we have started solar radiation, and in the previous class I explained the source of solar radiation, how the solar energy is produced inside the sun, that is due to various nuclear fusion reactions that are taking place inside the sun. The tremendous amount of energy is released. That energy released by the sun will be transmitted through the space in the form of electromagnetic radiation, and that electromagnetic radiation, depending on their frequency or wavelength, we have classified into different types: gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible rays, infrared rays, radio microwaves, and radio waves. So we have explained briefly about nature of those radiations, and predominantly our earth will be receiving the visible light as well as infrared, microwaves, and the radio waves. These waves are responsible for the creation of solar energy. Now, the total energy emitted by the sun may not reach our earth because a part of the energy will be absorbed by the surrounding atmospheres. So we are getting a part of the energy which is coming from the sun. Now, how to measure that solar energy? So what are the devices used for measurement of solar energy? That thing will be discussed in this class. Okay? So we shall discuss about different devices that are used for measurement of solar radiation or thermal radiation. So measurement of solar radiation. The first device we use to measure the solar radiation is fire heliometer. Devices used for measurement of solar radiation. One is called as fire heliometer, another one is called as pyranometer, and the third one is called as sunshine recorder. Sunshine recorder. So in this class, I will explain the construction of these devices. Now, first let us see this fire heliometer. Fire heliometer. It consists of two metallic plates of equal area. Say, this is one plate, and there will be another plate. And these two plates are connected with a thermocouple that consists of the galvanometer. This is a thermocouple that consists of galvanometer. These two are metallic plates. Say this is the A and another B plates. Metal plates or metal strips having equal area. These two plates are coated with black. These plates are coated with black. The plate B is connected to the electric circuit. The plate B is connected to the electric circuit. That consists of an ammeter A, plug key K, and rheostat. This is called battery. Ammeter. This is the rheostat. The plate A is exposed to solar radiation, while the plate B is shielded with another metallic plate, screen plate, that is M. This is shielded from the solar radiation. This is covered. Cover plate. Cover plate. So this is the construction of pipe heliometer. Once again, it consists of two metallic plates A and B having equal area and made of same material, identical in every respect. These two plates A and B are connected to junctions of the thermocouple that consists of a galvanometer G. This is the thermocouple. The plate A is exposed to solar radiation, while the plate B is shielded with a metal plate from the solar radiation. These two plates A and B are coated with black so as to absorb radiation effectively. Plate A is coated with black so as to absorb solar radiation. The plate B is connected to the electric circuit that consists of battery, plug key, rheostat, and an ammeter connected in series. So this is the construction of the pipe heliometer. Now let us see working. Now the plate B is covered with a metal plate M and shielded and prevent falling of any radiation on the plate B and kept at a low temperature. While the another plate A, which is coated with black, is exposed to solar radiation. When solar radiation incident on the plate A, it gets heated up. Therefore, the junction at the plate A of the thermocouple heated up, the temperature increases, while the junction B is at low temperature. due to the temperature difference between the two junctions, EMF is produced in the thermocouple and passes through the circuit. Due to this thermo EMF, the galvanometer will show a deflection. At that instant, the current from the external circuit is passed into the plate B and heated. The heating is continued till the deflection in the galvanometer becomes zero. When the deflection in the galvanometer becomes zero, then the junctions A and B both are at the same temperature. A and B are at the same temperature. Therefore, heat received by the solar radiation by the plate from solar radiation is equal to the heat generated to the plate B by the electrical circuit. Both are equal. At that stage, the current in the ammeter and the potential difference across this plate V is noted. If V is the potential difference and I is current through the plate B, then heat produced per second Q is equal to VA. Q is equal to VA. Now, if Q is the quantity of heat, if Q is the quantity of heat received from the solar radiation, capital A is area of cross section of the plate and small a is absorption coefficient of the plate A. So, if small a is absorption coefficient and capital A is area of the plate A, then if Q is solar radiation incident on the plate A, then heat produced Q2 is equal to Q into A into small a or small a into capital A. This is the heat absorbed by the plate A and this is the heat produced in the plate B. If the galvanometer shows zero deflection, when the deflection in the galvanometer is zero, then these two are equal. Q1 is equal to Q2. Therefore, Q2 is equal to Q1. Q small a capital A is equal to VI. Therefore, solar radiation intensity of solar radiation Q is equal to VI by small a into capital A. Therefore, by measuring the potential difference across the plate B and current I, current passing through the circuit, and by knowing the surface area of the plate and its absorption coefficient, the intensity of solar radiation can be measured. In this manner, we can measure the intensity of solar radiation by using 5 heliometer. 5 heliometer. So, this is the one of the devices, and you will learn about this device again in our physics chapter in the third semester. Now, this is the 5 heliometer. 5 heliometer. Now, let us discuss about another device that is used for measurement of solar radiation, that is called as pyranometer. Second device is called as pyranometer. Earlier one is pyrometer. This one is called as pyranometer. This pyranometer consists of an insulated base, over which number of thermocouples are connected in series. In this manner, number of thermocouples are connected, and these thermocouples are connected with the conducting plate. The conducting plate coated with black metal plate is placed over the series of thermocouples. Now this is the supporting base. And this arrangement is covered with a transparent glass dome. This is the construction of pyranometer. So this thermopiles are connected to the external output circuit. So this is the construction of pyranometer. This pyranometer is used to measure the intensity of solar radiation absorbed by a given metal surface from hemispherical area, which is in the form of dome. The solar radiation will be incident on this dome, and this will focus that light rays. As a result, the temperature of this thermopile, a series of thermocouples, is called thermopile. Thermopile is number of thermocouples connected in series. These are the thermocouples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Number of sensitive thermocouples are connected in series, and this series combination is called thermopile, which is connected to the external output circuit. And this arrangement is covered with a hemispherical dome made of glass. Made of glass. Now, when this is kept in a solar radiation, the sun may be rising from one end to the other end like this, and it will be moving. Sun will be moving. As it moves over the dome, then solar radiation will fall on it. Solar radiation will fall on it. Solar radiation will fall on it, and that radiation will be focused on the metal plate coated with black, which is kept over thermopile. As a result, all these junctions of thermocouples heated up, their temperature rises. Whereas these lower junctions, those are low temperature. Due to that temperature difference, EMF is produced, and that can be detected through the external circuit. By measuring the deflection in the galvanometer connected in the external circuit, you can measure the intensity of radiation or the amount of solar energy received per unit area in 1 second by this black plate. That is called as radiance, solar radiance. Therefore, we can measure the solar radiance by using this pyranometer. That is the pyranometer. Now, we can have another device which is called a sunshine recorder. Now, another device which is used for the measurement of solar radiance is sunshine recorder. Sunshine recorder. Now, it consists of, the construction will be like this. Supporting hemispherical strip. This is the supporting base. Spherical lens, and there will be paper strip for this. Now this is the construction of sunshine recorder. It consists of a fixed base on which a hemispherical metallic strip is fixed over it. At the center of the metallic strip, a spherical lens, a lens which is in the form of a sphere, is supported over the rod. This curved surface, inside the curved surface, there will be a small groove. Over that groove, a paper strip has to be fixed. This is called as paper strip. Paper strip has to be fixed. So, this is the construction of sunshine recorder. It consists of a fixed base, hemispherical metallic strip fixed to it, and at the center of the strip, plate, hemispherical plate. At the center of the plate, a spherical lens is supported, and a small paper strip is fixed inside the hemispherical plate. Now, when solar radiation incident on the spherical lens, this spherical lens will focus the solar radiation like this. It will focus the solar radiation like this. When the solar radiation is focused, enormous amount of heat is produced and the paper will burn out. The paper strip, which is fixed over the plate, is burned out. As the sun moves along this direction, that burn mark will be moving this side like this. In this manner, if you measure the length of the burn that happened over the paper strip, by knowing the length of the burn, black mark produced on the paper strip, you can measure the amount of time for which the solar radiation is available for utilization. This is called sunshine recorder, because here we can record the amount of time for which the solar radiation, sufficient solar radiation can be received from the sun, or from 9 o'clock to evening 4, or 9 to 2, like that. You can measure the sun availability of solar radiation in a given time interval. So, this is called sunshine recorder. Therefore, by using these three devices, you can measure the solar radiation. One is called as heliometer, and another one is called as pyranometer. Those two will work with the principle of thermocouple. And this is another one called sunshine recorder, in which the time availability of solar radiation can be measured. Now, so these are the three devices that are included in your syllabus. Now let us see what are the importance of solar radiation. Importance, uses of solar radiation. What for the solar radiation? We are having electricity. Then, what is the purpose of solar electricity? You can imagine. So, we are utilizing solar radiation for multi-purposes. We can utilize solar energy for different purposes. You can utilize for heating, for running machines, for lighting, and so on. Therefore, in all those cases, wherever we use electricity, there you can utilize your solar energy as alternating power. Moreover, solar radiation is more advantage when compared to the normal radiation. So, it is renewable energy. It is renewable energy. That means you can produce infinite amount of energy. Even if you draw large amount of energy, nothing will happen. If again, the next day we can produce this energy. And there will be no environmental pollution. There will be no pollution to produce it. So it's a healthy radiation when compared to electrical energy. In the case of thermal energy or nuclear energy, something has to be burned out in order to produce steam. Therefore, some ash will be produced and smoke will be comes out. There will be environmental pollution in surrounding areas. But due to this solar energy, there will be no pollution. It's a clean energy. It is clean and pure energy. Another one is there will be no power fluctuations. Power fluctuations are power cuts. Therefore, there will be no power cuts. If you have sun, then you will be receiving solar energy. So throughout the day you can receive the solar energy. And another one is it is a permanent solution for getting power. Once you fix solar panels, then for years together you will be receiving. Therefore, the power consumption expense towards for solar power is less. You need not spend any money once you install the solar devices. And the life of electrical instruments is more. The life of electrical appliances is more. Another thing is suppose if you are staying in a remote areas, forest like that. If your house is located in a thick forest, in a remote location, you may not have electricity facility because the government may not provide. There, if you install solar panels, then you can produce solar power. Therefore, we can get solar power, even in remote locations. So these are the advantages of solar power over normal electric power. Normal electric power కంటే solar power లో ఇదంతా మనకు చాలా ఉపయోగం ఉంది. So these are some of the advantages of solar radiation when compared to normal electric power. So it is a renewable energy. Even if you draw solar power, nothing will be lost, and there will be no pollution in producing solar energy, and it is a clean energy and a pure energy. There is no pollution at all, and there will be no power cuts due to this solar radiation, and the expense for solar power can be less. You can reduce electric power bills at home, and because this power is stable, we are getting a DC energy, therefore the life of electrical appliances will be more, and we can get solar power even in remote locations, inaccessible areas where there is no power supply facility. That is a more advantage. And due to this power, where if you do not get the electric power, then you can get the solar energy. Even if you get electrical energy, if you have solar power, then you can utilize solar power and reduce your electric power bills. In this manner, you can have a number of advantages. We are able to run cars, solar stoves, solar fans, solar heaters, solar lighting. So their advantage is very innumerable. Therefore, I suggest to you, each one of you, at least you should have 2 solar panels over your houses, rooftop solar panels. You can have 2 solar panels at your house like this, and when these solar panels are connected to your circuits, then daytime you need not spend even a single pipe for utilization of power, because you continuously getting solar radiation, solar power due to solar radiation. So these are the advantages of solar energy over normal electric power. So what we have discussed today, we have discussed about some of the devices that are used for measurement of solar radiation, that is a pyrheliometer, pyranometer and sunshine recorder. Pyrheliometer and pyranometer, they measure the solar radiance or solar energy received per second from the solar energy, where the sunshine recorder will record the time availability of the solar energy for utilization by measuring the paper strip, burning of the length of the paper strip that is burned in the sunshine recorder. And next one, we have discussed about the major advantage of solar energy over normal energy. So these are the advantages of the solar energy over normal electric power. So in the next class, we will continue our game this chapter.